Welcome in everyone to another Rogue Scholars podcast. Thank you for sticking with us with the technical difficulties. I, of course, am the Wombat of Doom.
Yo, it's F1. Well, fuck, I messed up again. Fuck it. You know who I am.
We do
I'm
it
Kerbo.
live. That's Megan
Hi, I'm
Kirby,
Trillian Spears.
and now I talked over Trell. So welcome in everyone. You know who we are. We are back for another episode of Rogue Scholars. I just realized it is still snowing outside. We've got like 5 inches of snow out there, folks. This is
Yeah, it's
awesome.
sick outside. It's great.
But yeah, so Blue Fire, the opposite of snow. It's a game that we all observed that we all owned. It's one of the few games that we all owned but hadn't played.
Yep.
So we decided to play it. It's something we try and do every year since last year, so it's now officially a tradition. So let's talk about that. So just a little bit of background for those of you who don't know the process. The idea was for us to all play it at the same time, and then when we beat it, when we all beat it, we talk about it. Kirby
Oops.
played it.
I'm not gonna
way in
fucking wait until
advance.
December. You guys are taking it way too risky.
Kirby didn't even tell us that he beat it or started playing
Nope.
it.
I had not. That part is on me.
So
Wombat
I
and
wanted
I
to
at
see
least
it
were
done.
like, trying to be bros and do it around the same time and playing it out a little bit.
Why did you guys wait so
what we did.
long?
You just sat there, let us hold the bag, just for like, fuck you guys. That's so good.
Oh my god.
We last year when we played Pray to the Gods, we like signaled each other. We're like, hey, let's start playing this. Okay. And then
Yeah,
all
we did it
played
early on. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been great to play this all together, wouldn't it, Wombat? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, normal mode, bitch.
So let's get into it. Personally, I thought I was happily surprised with the game. I didn't know anything about it going in. I don't think any of us really did.
I knew it was Metroidvania-esque, but that's about it.
And
I knew
Probably
he liked it.
Yeah, it kind of was, but it was a little bit more linear, to be fair.
A bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
There wasn't as much backtracking and stuff like that. And I probably the way that I saw the trailer was like, this looks Hollow Knight inspired, or Metroidvania, and that was probably about the gist. And I just heard good reception of it, but it was like, okay, I'm down.
I would say, now Tequila, I also played it on normal, but
No, but you went back to
I went
hard.
back
I
and-
told them
and did
yesterday
hard,
that you went
you know?
back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easier when you like already knew the knowledge of the game the first time around. So whatever.
Did you know that there's a hard mode after hard?
Yeah, they're like brutal, which is
It's
annoying.
brutal. Yeah, it's where
That's
you,
actually
if you
at the
die,
beginning.
you have to start over. Yeah.
That's actually the normal mode, to be honest.
Good. Actually, no, I don't like permadeath modes. Jokes aside about
Me
me
too.
always picking hard difficulties. If there's permadeath, I'm not doing it because I'm not that good.
Yeah, the only game I've ever done permadeath on is well, I guess two.
Hollow
Silk
Knight?
Song, or
Yeah.
sorry, not Silk Song, Hollow Knight and Minecraft. I've done hardcore.
I thought you did Diablo for some reason.
Oh, you did hardcore
I might
Diablo?
have. I don't
Oh, okay.
remember. I played the hell out of Diablo 2, so I very well could have, but that was in 10th grade, so over 20 years ago at this point.
Oh, okay.
22 years ago, I think. Yeah. So
Old man Wombat.
Mhm. But yeah, so I guess initial reaction, as I said, I was pleasantly surprised. I think my biggest complaint is that there wasn't more of it. It felt like I felt like I wanted more of most of the elements, like more areas, more temples. But I mean, if that's my complaint for the game, that's not a bad complaint, right? Wanting more of something is
Have.
not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I have a few other complaints about the game. But do we want to talk about good stuff first, or complain first?
I normally like to end on the good,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with talking about the good stuff first.
Well, I can talk about the biggest thing I didn't like was the camera. I didn't think that the camera was as well designed as I would have liked it. It
That's
was a
fair.
little too
The camera,
slippy or
it
stuttery.
kind of was. Even with trying to adjust some of the controls, the camera. I mean, it wasn't like atrocious, to be clear.
Mm-mm.
But for some of like the harder voids, I agree that it was not ideal.
It probably to me was very reminiscent of your typical 3D platformer camera. And it was nothing. It didn't like have a worse camera than things I've seen before in like Odyssey or something like that when you get like camera fucked kind of thing. So
One of
it
the
felt
best
very
cameras in gaming.
yeah. I think it's hard in those things because you're probably in any 3D platform. I feel like you're always going to run up against at least some point in time where the camera just absolutely did you in, and it's like it is what it is. It wasn't worse or better in any aspect for me. It was just kind of like it's part of the genre, in my opinion.
I feel like I don't know. Like, did you think Odyssey's camera was not great? Like, I felt like it was good. Like,
Me
I didn't have
too.
any issues with that.
Me
I
neither.
wouldn't. I don't think I would ever call it good. I think there's times where and it's like maybe you have to have the foresight of like I need to reposition this. I'm up against the wall, and you
Okay,
gotta like
unironically, what do you think is one of the best cameras in game? Like, obviously, no 2D games because that's annoying. But what 3D games are you're like, yeah, this camera does exactly what I need it to do when I want it to do?
yeah. I mean,
Or do you
God,
think like just inherently like every 3D camera to you is like either it's good and like serviceable, or it's like wow, fucking kill me because it sucks.
there's definitely games. Man, I'll have to think. There
As
has
you can
been
come
games in
back
my
to, I'm
life.
just curious now.
There has been games in my life where I'm like the camera was just really clunky. Maybe it didn't pivot fast enough, didn't swivel, or it was like controller wise, it was really hard to maneuver or
Yep.
something. But then the other ones that have done it, like I guess quote unquote well, there's still been points that I've complained about it. It'd be like, oh, I died because of the camera, and that could just be like your typical like finding an excuse, right? You're just like, I
Sure.
died, and it's your fault, But like, and I didn't have the foresight to be like, hey, well, I need to actually pivot it here because I'm about to get pushed up against this wall or whatever reason, right? But like, I never like probably. I don't know if there's been a standout game where I was like, man, the camera was fantastic on that game. It's just like, it was either it functioned
It's never
or
that's the point.
it was a detriment. Yeah.
It either works well enough to where I don't have complaints or I just hate it. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. So I think it was probably on par for me to other things. I was like, yeah, it is what it is.
It definitely was utilizing the Z targeting camera a bit, but there was also like the manual swing, and I think the swing just wasn't responsive enough. The Z was fine, but it wasn't really designed to Z too much, and I'm not used to the Z being there, and you couldn't really change it. I tried messing with the camera to make it like faster or slower, and I didn't really feel any difference no matter how I changed it. So it was just like, sometimes I was just like, ugh, this camera. And I got used to it the more you played, of course. But then by the time you're fully used to it, the game's done. So, yeah,
That's interesting. I did not use the Z targeting hardly at all in that game.
yeah.
The only time I used it was when you had floating dudes that you couldn't hit.
Yeah. Just
And
aerial
that was the
dudes.
only other time I really used it. Otherwise, you kind of auto locked and kind of just gravitated towards them on the swing, anyways. So I was like, okay, I'll just utilize that. Even if you like jumped in air for floating dudes, I was like, let me go up, hit them a couple times, and it would go away. It was just the ones that were straight, like way high up that you had to Z target and just fly up to. That was like, okay, that's it. I do like also that we call it Z targeting. It's like coined from
It totally
OC.
is.
It is.
Yeah. Any complaints from you both?
The map? Well, no, sorry. The fact that there is no map.
Yeah,
Sorry, let me correct
100%.
myself.
absolutely.
That's if
biggest
I'm gonna start with the
complaint.
biggest complaint. I'm like, dude, especially going for 100%. I'm like, dude, I don't know where the fuck I've been. Come on, give me something.
How many
Yeah.
chests did you miss with your 100% Kirby?
So how many what?
Chests did you have to go back and find?
I wish I remembered, but it was a decent amount. Unfortunately, like I said, because I played so early, I don't remember anymore.
Right.
But I remember having to go back and do a bunch of backtracking because I missed a lot of shit, and there was no map, so I didn't know where to go. And some of the side quests took me a minute too to figure out what they wanted from me.
No, hold on. We were talking about this in our like group chat before we went live. Do you remember the game though, right? You remember that like you do have like a sword and stuff like that. You remember? I mean, there is blue fire in the game.
Okay, can I say something?
Everyone would remember
You
that at
talked to
least,
that
right?
two-sword motherfucker, and then 2 streams later he came back, and you're like, "Who's this guy? I've never seen this guy before."
Hey,
What
I
the
remember there's
fuck?
blue fire in the game.
You just played it. It's been a year for me.
That was so good.
Yeah, it's bad that I didn't remember the blue fire. Sure, but you forgot the fucking main NPC, one of the only dudes that stands out. Like, 2 days after you talk
I'm
to him.
really busy. Okay, like I'm sure he was in a meeting in a group chat that I was
Do
in
you
or
know
something
how
like
many
that.
games I played between Blue Fire and now? It's like 5 years worth of games for you.
Spoilers. We'll talk about how many games next week.
That's why I didn't give a number. I'm keeping it a little bit of a secret here.
Oh man.
I'm not trying to defend myself too much. Yeah, I'm dog shit for forgetting that Blue Fire is in the game. Like, I don't even know why. Like, seriously, I was like, I don't know why the game's even called Blue Fire, man. I don't know. But
Honestly, though, I
it
think
took
that's
me
the
a while
only
to find
thing is
the
the
emotes.
blue
Sorry,
fire.
what are you saying? What was that?
The only thing I can think of is the blue fire essence that you get for healing or something like that. And
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the story.
You use
So-
blue fire to heal. You light the saves with blue fire. And then the symbol is kind of a kind of like a flame, almost
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
teardrop almost flame. Yeah. I
Yeah, no map, and maybe it was just me. I got lost on some of the side quests, like figuring out what the hell they want me to do. I mean, that's probably more of a Wombat question because this isn't even meant to be a jab. I don't tell you didn't do all the side quests, and so that's fine.
yeah I
Okay, did you look up any help to do the side quest?
No, I did not.
Mm.
no. I didn't look
I
up
just
anything.
got
at all,
lost for a
Charlotte.
while.
So I only had 2 things left for 100% when I
I only had 2 things left. Oh.
but I was very confused because there's a lot of fucking items that you pick up that aren't for anything.
Yes. Yeah. What is that? Like
Like
the
the rats?
apple, for example, and yeah, the rats. What do the rats do? Like there was
I don't know if you could sell those somewhere, and I didn't look hard enough.
no, when people run out of things to sell, they always sell dead rats. And I don't know if it's like a game or something.
There you go,
Or
dude.
not a game, a joke or something.
Yeah, my rat died.
My rat.
But like, what? Why is there? Why is there dead rats, and why can't we use them for anything?
Did you
can
guys
drop
who did you
them.
sell? Who did you sell the sapphires and stuff like that to?
Oh,
That
the guy in the
librarian dude.
library.
Yeah.
Okay, him. I never had it. Like I always had enough
Yeah.
gems or whatever the currency was called, and so I never actually had to go sell it. And plus, I didn't get the biggest wallet anyway, so I was always peeking out my wallet anyway.
Oh, so,
so-
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The highest wallet is 14K, I think, like something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And you need it to buy 1 item, but everything else is under that. I thought currency was a little silly for sure, especially because there was those collectible bottles that got you a bunch of currency, but they kept respawning. You could leave the room and come back, and you'd have another 800 bottles in the main
Yep.
hub. So like
I found
you
a couple of
could
those. Yeah.
easily pay for something pretty quickly, or sell your crystals. I did sell crystals early game to get the things, the medallions or the spirits or whatever you call them, but I found myself needing that less and less as the game went. So I thought that was a problem too, currency wise.
Okay.
I also didn't like that you could only sell them at that one point, so you have to backtrack all the way to start.
Yes. I mean,
so-
fast travel makes it decent, but it's still kind of annoying.
yeah, it's still annoying.
Fast travel would have been better if there was a map and you could have selected something too.
Agreed.
to go to.
I've played through the game twice now, and I still don't know where the final checkpoint is. Like I have all but one checkpoint, the bottom one.
Oh, so you didn't 100% it. Interesting. Okay.
Well, it says that 100%. You saw the proof, so
No,
the
I didn't.
checkpoints don't count. Yeah.
That's interesting to know though. Like that you guys never hit all the checkpoints. That's weird.
Well, let me see if I did. Hold the fuck on.
Yeah,
Is my save file still here? Hold up.
If you can tell me where it is, Kirby, I'll go
I'm gonna look right
I'll go
now.
look real quick.
All right.
That is funny. Like
Making
for
sure.
me, so outside of, I would 100% agree that my biggest complaint was no map, because I feel like that would have done a lot for the game. Like even just building upon the lore or like the environment that you're in. If you're able to see it kind of like holistically, like where I'm at, like think of like Elden Ring when you're like, I know that like I'm east of the starting point in this fucked up poison land or something like that, and it just kind of helps build the world environment in your mind or something like that. I think it's great, and that's an
That's a
easy way
good
to.
point. Being able to picture the entire world like in your head and stuff. Like obviously you could like try and piecemeal it together from how you understand it, but seeing it done is a lot cooler.
Yeah, I think it's just it just adds a lot of, like, to help kind of build world building in your mind kind of thing. Plus, it like if you're in a Metroidvania where you're like, hey, I've been all here before, and if you can see like the like cloud, the what do they call it, like the fog of war or whatever, where it's like places you haven't been kind of thing. It's like, okay, like I still need to go explore over here. Maybe I should go check that out. Because like my second biggest complaint, and we've kind of touched on it, is like with the currency discussion, is like there wasn't enough gates in the game, and by that I mean is like I kind of just kept going until like in Metroidvanias I tend to like just go until you hit a dead end, and it's like, okay, now I need to backtrack. I never really hit a lot of dead ends in that game. I just kept going and going and going, and then all of a sudden it was like, man, I guess what is left in the game? I'm like, I don't feel like I have to backtrack at all. And at this point, I've been going for so long. If I have to backtrack, where the fuck do I even go? It was like, oh my god.
Well, there was only a couple backtracks, and that was the ice boss, and then the acid boss, the sewer guy, and then the ice ice boss, where you had to like collect all the different essence, right? In
Oh,
the
real
different
quick.
areas.
Wombat, I don't have it either. It's because it's in the DLC, and I didn't play the
There's a
DLC.
DLC.
Oh
Void
yeah,
Fire.
yes, there is a DLC. I started it, and I never finished it.
How do you get
Yep.
into the DLC?
Trell should know.
Uh,
He just started it somehow.
Yeah,
I
if you
didn't do
go
it.
back to the what's the main keep called or whatever,
Yeah.
Isn't it just Firekeep?
Firekeep.
Yeah.
is the very start. Yeah, there's like when you go back in there, there's a door that's glowing now, and you can enter it, and there's a DLC that you can start.
Okay. Well, I'll have to
Okay, yeah.
play
So that's
that.
what the last area. So I'm like, how the fuck did I miss it too?
So that's
Yeah.
So
what
we're doing
all
a whole
new
podcast.
voids are. Interesting.
We're doing a
Yep.
whole podcast on this, and none of us have done the DLC.
Nope.
That's okay, because we played the base game, and that was what we set out to do. So
Mhm.
yeah, I did see the DLC was free and in there, but it said it was integrated to the game. And I'm like, oh, I must have done it or something. Interesting. Um, and then yeah, Void Maker is different from that. Void Maker is where you can make your own voids for people to play, which I thought was pretty neat. It's kind of like a portal
I'd
to
be interested
Maker.
in trying that, to be honest.
That would be a fun thing for us to do next year, is like make each other voids, and then we have to play them, kind of like a Mario Maker type thing.
But yeah, okay, I'm not playing Wombat's level though. I want Kirby's level because it'd just be like a straight path forward.
That's exact. It's gonna be a straight line. There might be one point where you jump off and grab something, and then you jump back on. You're done. It's it. It's over. That's the whole level. That's exactly what. I'm glad you know me so well. That's
Wombat would be
exactly
like
what it would be.
5-hour level or something. I'd be like, oh fuck me.
It'd be a full recreation of like the forest temple.
Oh my god.
So to your point, Kirby and Trell, map wise, I did miss that quite a bit, and I thought it would have been a cool kind of idea to have like an overview look of that floating castle and seeing where each of the different
Yes.
things are at the very least, and like, at least some context or information would have been cool. Like, we don't need like a full-fledged map that's fully interactive, but like something would have been nice, like an overworld map, like like Zelda generally doesn't have like a map where I can see everything, but like I can see
Sure, but even
how
like the
everything
map like
lines up.
Hyrule Field, like something
Right.
like that, that's just pretty basic, would be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, or like a mini map where we can see where we are in the level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Agreed.
there's a fan made one. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, so let's talk about good stuff then.
Well, I have one more minor complaint. It's like
Okay.
the least of my complaints. The bosses suck. They aren't fun.
Oh, I would disagree. I would
The ice
disagree.
one's fun, and that's it.
They were easy. The first ones
That's
maybe
why they
That's because
suck.
you were on normal.
That's not fair because easy bosses don't suck, but in this game they were not fun for me.
Yeah.
they I feel like that they had some good mechanics to them, and they had some like good variety. Like so, it was like there's like jumping, maybe ones that had more dashing abilities. Some of them you had to get in there and hit more times and be more aggressive. I
I
thought that they
agree
were.
with that. It just felt like the combat was like so underbaked because it was so easy. There was no reason for me to care about anything besides mashing the X button.
Yeah, so actually, I
That's
think the
also
problem
fair.
is less the bosses and more the combat in general. So yeah, the combat was pretty simplistic and
Simplicity is a
samey.
great word for it.
And you can do combat that's simplistic well. I mean, you press B with Zelda, and that's it pretty much, right? You dodge around and press B to hit. Um,
Yep.
but I think combat was a little wonky. It felt like things were too tanky, or like you just were hitting something, hit. There was not really a lot of strategy, right? If you hit fast enough, then you parried things. Um, so yeah, I didn't enjoy combat as much as I would have liked, but I really did enjoy the movement. I thought the movement was great.
The movement was great, and I think that, and we'll probably get into the parkour stuff a bit more, but that was probably the void stuff was like my favorite part because the movement was so much fun. I would agree with all the points you guys kind of just made that it was a very simplistic combat, and sometimes there was opportunities where it was like the boss fight just started, and I'd get it down to like half health already because like phase one, all you had to really do was get in there and just get on top of them and just swing a
Yep.
lot. And it was
And
like,
then you
okay,
just win.
yeah, but I felt like there's like a little bit of like diamond in the rough kind of thing where there was a lot good in there. I think that they probably need to refine it and polish it. I would love to see them come back with a Blue Fire 2, maybe
Oh,
with
I
a
would
more
too. Either like
complicated.
Blue Fire 2 or just a new game if they want. I don't care. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was kind of like I guess that it reminds me of like my review over Mortal Condom. Sorry, Mortal Shell. Um, where that game was like at first it seemed like it was going to be absolutely incredibly difficult combat until you finally learned how to like use the shelling mode, and it was like, okay, this is
Yep.
cake actually. But like apart from that, it was just like I thought the bosses had variety, like visually and their movement. But yeah, like as far as the combat goes and how you interact with them, it was like, yeah, you get on there and then you start attacking them once they have their attack of opportunity available to you. And it was like, yeah, you're going to deal big damage. And then after that, it was kind of just waiting for that cycle to come back.
That's. I'm trying to think if I like the combat in like Mortal Kombat more or less than Blue Fire because it's pretty simple in both accounts.
I think simple
And
with 3D is a little, we can be a little harsher, right? Like you mentioned in the chat, Stardew Valley is easy, simple, but it's fun.
yeah, that's partly also because I'm not playing. I don't expect it to be a core mechanic of the game. It's just it's
That's fair
there.
too. Yeah, this game is kind of built around combat being a core mechanic for sure.
Right.
Um,
But in any case, that's a minor complaint. It's far from me feeling like, oh, this game isn't worth playing because the combat's simple.
Right.
That's absolutely not what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. So
and
For the length of the game, I think the combat was sufficient. It got you through it. It wasn't like
it did. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. Like, was there room for improvement? Sure, but it did get me through the game 100%, and I wasn't like, oh man, this combat sucks, and I can't wait to just not be doing it. Like
For the length-
Batman. The combat was better than Batman, 100%. 100%.
yeah.
That's not even close to me joking.
Dang,
So,
really?
I
Yeah,
like-
100%. I'd rather do Blue Fire combat. I hate Batman. All is so boring.
But there's so many tools and utilities on your utility belt.
You just throw shit forever. All you do is throw batarangs, dude. It's so boring. Kebab swears. I don't. This is the last thing we'll get back on topic. So Kebab swears I'll like the combat in the third Batman game, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm done. Batman sucks.
Arguably, I would say that the combat is about on par that you would get with any Zelda game, OOT or whatever included. Right? Like I would say it's the exact same. The only thing that Zelda does that's different is that it will force the use of items in the
Whatever
boss.
item you found in the dungeon.
If you removed all the items, the core of your combat is like basically the same thing as what you get in Blue Fire. But
yeah, you
Blue
lock
Fire
on,
doesn't
you
have
go
that
up
item.
to them, you smack them a few times, and they do their little boss thing.
Yeah,
That's
and then you're just
true.
sitting there waiting for the attack of opportunity, and then you get back in there and you hit him again. So Blue Fire had like items or something like that in the mix, where all of a sudden he's like, okay, now I actually got to use my hook or whatever thing like that. And
Yeah,
then
I
you'd be like,
agree. If there was
whoa.
some prerequisite, like little gimmicky puzzle I had to solve before I mashed X, I don't think I'd be complaining the way I am right now. I wholly agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. And that I mean, there were dungeons in Blue Fire, but there was only two, right? Like,
I know.
Right.
Actually,
so
I'm really disappointed about that because
me
like
too. Yeah,
it was the dungeons were like one of the funnest things that I probably would argue
They
as
were.
as fun as the voids. They were really fun to do, and I was like, man, I want more of those because then at the latter part of the game where it was like, now go collect all the fires or whatever to get into this next boss. I was like, no, give me another dungeon for the boss because that was fun.
yeah.
Bro, you don't want to go? Yeah, you don't want to play the Skyward Sword part?
Oh, it was so Skyward Sword. It's so
It
bad.
was a combination of Skyward Sword and collecting the Triforce shards from Wind Waker because you had to go around the
Oh
map.
yeah.
and
Undo all that shit, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Good
instead of
call.
a dungeon. Yeah, I wish that there was at least one more dungeon.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. So we had, yeah, no, we had three dungeons: the forest, the ice,
One.
and then
Yep.
the
Fire
fire.
one.
We
Yep.
had three.
No, you're right. Yep.
I would have liked at least one more for sure.
I agree.
For late game dungeon. I thought each was actually pretty good. And replaying them, I enjoyed them again. So
That's good.
I think the fire one was a little rushed in terms of execution. Like it was a little bit more simplistic and not as complex as the other two. And,
Yeah.
And then I guess they ran out of time for the last bit of the game, so they went a different way. Because it was pretty much all just a boss rush at that point with different ways of getting to the bosses.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I'm curious actually, like if what the story behind that is. If it was like were they rushed and just had to get something out there? Because then they followed up with the DLC. I wonder if the DLC has a temple. Because man, I would actually be more tempted.
I hope
to
it
play
has at
it.
least one.
Yeah, or if it's just like a couple bosses. If it had a temple, I would be tempted to actually fire that up and go for it. Or so like, what's the story there? Were they just trying to get something out and shipped, or did they run out of ideas, or I don't know. But
That is
with
a good
them-
question. I don't know.
yeah, I'm curious.
What did you think of the final boss? Speaking of combat,
That's pretty cool.
One, but like,
I thought it was pretty cool. Like it was a bit more heavy on the bullet hell kind of aspect, dodging all the like the lasers and
agreed.
stuff like that. And that's a fine mechanic to lean on sometimes, like with rather than just moving to the boss, like the environment itself, you got to watch out for. So I thought it was fun. You had to lean heavily more onto the movement aspect of your character, which is the most fun part anyway. So I enjoyed it.
and I actually had trouble with figuring out that movement aspect of going to the column and to dodge the shockwave and then coming back because none of the
Yeah.
other bosses had utilized the environment to help you beat them. So
Yeah.
I had kind of been trained to just smack at them until they were dead. And in this case, you couldn't do that. So I liked the final boss because of that, but I also didn't like the boss because it didn't match the rest of the game. So like I
that's fair.
I wanted to see the final boss be something we learned from other bosses to do. I'm glad that they did it this way though. It was probably my favorite boss out of them all because of that. But that means that the other bosses suffered because of it. And to your point, Kirby, I like the variety of how they looked and things like that. They all looked pretty cool, but yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
the mechanics were very similar.
Yeah.
I remember I was just reading the chat, the getting stuck inside that bubble. There was some jank in that fight too.
Oh, you got stuck in it. Interesting.
Oh yeah. That was like it was fun and probably my favorite. If not, then I would argue the ice one and maybe my favorite just because they were fast and zipping around the arena, which was quite fun to dodge and stuff. I would have to. I like what you said there because like that happens to me all the time, Wombat, and you guys know because we all
Yeah.
take the piss out on me, as the Brits would say. But like I constantly do that where it's like like the game will teach you like how to deal with scenarios or something like that. And sometimes maybe they only like touch on something and they don't use it like very like until like way far down or something like that. But then I put
Yep.
myself in a box and I'm like, this is how you interact with the things. All of a sudden, I get completely stuck, and I'm like, what is it? What are you supposed to do? And they're like, don't you remember this one little mechanic? I'm like, nope, don't remember that at all. So that's cool. So I get
That
it.
mechanic's gone.
Yep, deleted.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I didn't think about the last boss that much. I just thought that they were pretty neat overall, and like I guess one of the it wasn't not like super hard or anything, but one of the more of a challenge than anything else in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Well, I like
what
it for that
about
reason.
the
Yes,
what about the lore of the game? And Kirby, you didn't really say you paid attention at all, right?
I have no idea what the lore was. I don't know who the dual sword guy was. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's wrong with the place. I'm assuming the world was fucked because that Shadow Queen was doing fuck shit, and we got to stop her, and we did it. Congrats.
Honestly, that you've kind of like touched on everything that it really made available to you. There wasn't a lot of detail. And at first, when you just like get in there, it was kind of like what you were asking a lot of questions, which is fine. I didn't know sometimes that's a technique on storytelling, I guess, where you're just kind of
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? What am I? And you just, I guess, trying to draw you in and ask more questions. I don't feel like a lot of it got answered, or it just got answered like very shallowly, and it's like, well, what is going on in this whole world, and it's just I think you hit it in a nutshell. It's just like bad people doing bad things, and now
That's what it is. And we can't let them keep doing this. They can't keep getting away with it.
So I feel like I wanted to know more, and I felt like it could have done a bit more world building in there, even
Allow-
like with a
Allow
map
me
or something
to
like that.
allow me to explain, Trell.
Go for it.
Let me explain.
Let me explode.
So there were 5 gods back in the day, and they created the world. And each god had like a charge over something, except one god was not as cool as the other gods and was fucking shit up and
Sure.
corrupting things, created the shadow. So the other 4 gods went to war against the one god who was corrupted. And it was a pretty big battle, and over time more and more things fell to the shadow until the gods basically lost, and the shadow has been kind of taking hold more and more of the last bastion of the world, and that's this castle. uh, and the queen was the daughter of the 4 gods, as like the last like hope for humanity, but it got corrupted by the shadow, and we are born of both fire and shadow, so we're kind of like a combination, so we are the only one that has the power to defeat the queen because of that.
And that was the summary, or I guess like that all came out in like one cutscene, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Where it
Is
was
that
like
real? I believe that.
It's not a cutscene. It's the one guy that's up in the main hub area that sells you different tunic dyes. He gives
Oh, yeah, I
you
know
all
him.
of that. And then there's a few things that kind of support that story, but that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like that could have been an email, like how
Right.
brief it was, where it
I
was
like
just like
that.
you're like
It
the
was-
whole
it was
time
a
you're
lot
like
of text. Kirby
Yeah,
just
it was
skipped
like-
through it. Yeah.
it was like when you I don't know, you're like 60% through the game or whatever, and you're just like, what is going on? Also, you get this one brief kind of thing. You're like, that's all right, that's it, and then you don't really get a lot more touched on it at all afterwards. You're like, all right, so I'm just born of this, like you said, blue fire, whatever, and I'm like the
Yeah,
savior.
The
Why-
guide
why
ghost
me?
said more, but the tunic, the tunic guy was pretty early on. It was like right after, when you get to the main hub, you can have access to what's happening, and then the gods tell you more. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I felt like it was like you could have maybe elaborated on some of that or added more flavor and context to it all. But from what you just recapped, yeah, that's pretty much my knowledge of the lore. Because I was trying to see if there was going to be more detail, but it wasn't a lot.
I
But
would have preferred a little bit more like items describing things. Maybe some of those items that you got that had no purpose you could utilize in that way. Um,
dead rat.
But I don't
It's dead.
think it really needed. Yeah, like because the things fell to ruin. People were starving, and dead rats became a currency just to survive. Or something like that would have been, right? Yeah. But I don't think that the game really needed too much of a story, so I'm actually okay with what they've done. Because, frankly, like I think the game did what it needed to in terms of telling that linear story of, oh, my motivation is defeat the queen. Got it. Let's get to her and free the other gods. Cool.
Okay, so
I would have liked to
yeah,
see
go ahead.
some of the characters get corrupted, like that were like okay, and then like later on they're like, we have to fight them. Like, I really wanted to fight the two sword guy. Like, I thought we were going to be doing
Oh,
that
I
at
thought
some
you
point.
were
That would have been a
too.
fun fight. I feel like. I mean,
That
he
would have been
looks
cool.
sweet.
There wasn't really like an imminent threat, right?
Not really. Not that I mean, not that I knew about. But again, I am not the lore guy. I never felt like there was a threat that was coming to get me.
I mean, I guess like the castle got like, whatever happened. But what's the time frame of what like that very first scene that you see the castle get like obliterated? Was that like the effect of that god like doing their bad thing? And then what time frame how much time elapsed from that moment to when you finally came about? I would imagine a lot because they're saying like you're finally here to fix things or something. That's like, well,
Yeah.
why
Well,
now?
at the
Like, what's the imminent danger? I guess.
Yeah, at the beginning you can see that there's a whole bunch of you, like a whole pile of corpses of you.
Right.
Um, so this has all happened before, I guess. But we're the only one that succeeds. That feels like something. I forget what game that feels like, but
It feels like Souls. Like you're like how
Oh,
many
yeah.
isn't Souls like they Dark Souls they've like a lot of people have tried and failed and you're the next firekeeper
sure.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that they were going to try to lean into that a bit more, but they never really addressed like all the other failed attempts or whatever. It was just like you're the one. You're like, okay.
Z's got it. That's the one I was thinking of.
Oh, Hollow Knight. Yeah,
Yeah, with all the different knights. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, going back to it, I really enjoyed the movement.
Yeah, that's the best part.
I think
100%.
I think that I actually really like the idea of having upgrades to the movement too, where you have like a double jump and a triple, or no, a triple jump and a double dash that you can unlock.
Yeah,
but-
like getting the ability, like the charge attack, like hover move was sweet. Wall
Yeah,
runs
yeah,
were
yeah.
cool.
The triple jump, yeah, I loved that. And
Yeah, you remember all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
You
yeah,
did
yeah.
all
I remember all
that.
those. Yeah, all those upgrades, I got them all. Yeah, yeah, they were
So-
great.
You did all the
I-
voids.
I actually have a beef about them though.
Okay.
So the double dash was literally hidden in the rafters in the very starting area, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, up where the two sword dude was, right?
right.
What the fuck? Are you, dude?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
like, right. I think you even looked at it, Charlton, and you're like, "What's up there?" But then you just didn't
But
come
you
back
never
for it
came
at any
back.
point.
And then the triple jump is up above the temple where the queen is, where Trell almost got to, but then didn't go high enough.
Oh my god.
So you almost got both of them. But I feel like those are core mechanics that should be upgraded in a natural progression instead of a findable thing where it strengthens your movement. Like, it feels like something you should be getting from a temple or from the story, right? Like,
Agreed.
that's how Metroidvania or item based like quests generally go. Is the upgrades are part of the main story. It was neat to get those upgrades, and I had the double dash pretty early because I clocked that mask very early on, and as soon as I got the wall jump, I'm like, I'm going back there, and
Gotta
then
get that shit. Yeah.
yeah,
Man.
so I had the double dash like pretty much after the forest temple, and
Devin's so helpful.
it was very helpful, especially with the voids. Yeah.
I would agree, and that's kind of goes back to the like they should have been items in there, like kind of like Zelda style temples that to one make variety in your combat, and two, I guess also to make it use in your parkour or whatever. But like it should be more of a reward rather than like a hidden thing, especially. But I guess like the argument against that was like I had never really only maybe one or two jumps did I need something like a charm that was like your jump is longer or something like that.
Yeah.
Everything else I was able to get by, and that's where I was saying earlier. I was like, they need more gates in that Metroidvania to force you to go back and look at things because it was like I would be like, oh man, this jump seems a little hard, but maybe I could do it if I did. And I would do it. Obviously, it was a little bit janky how I executed it, but I was still able to execute. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep going then. It's like, well, I wasn't forced to go look for something, so why will I guess.
And I agree. Originally I didn't really care that you got the upgrades as optional things. But after hearing about it now, like if they would have made them like part of the story to where you have to get them, yeah, I think that would have been cool because then they could have made the game have more interesting parkour elements because they know, okay, if you get to this point in the game, everyone's going to have this ability versus, oh, well, you might have it and you might not, so we can't do too much with it.
Yep. If you don't know what the person has at certain points of the game, you can't build the puzzles accordingly. So it's like they needed more forced gated kind of stuff, I think.
Yeah, nice.
The voids were really great. There were some frustrating ones, but like not frustratingly bad. Like I think.
Agreed.
I don't think there were any voids where I was like, I hate this void. This is bad design. I think they were all challenging, but like the right amount of challenging.
I think so.
There were some that were easy, but like that's okay. Like they were helping to learn the mechanics.
Yeah,
I wanted more of that.
There was some, I think, like depending on what skills you had, at the time, it would be inappropriate to call it like a 2-star or 3-star or something like that. Like so there was like
void challenge ranking thing,
the difficulty measurement or whatever. Like there was like I think there was like a 5 or a 4 that to me was really easy, and then there was a 3 one where I was like, damn, this one's fucking hard. And it was just like I felt like I was like, who's ranking these? And obviously, like it's probably like looking way too much into it, but it'd be cool if it was like the difficulty was determined dynamically based off the skills you have currently or something like that.
That'd be cool.
But that's probably like be way too much of a complex thing to try to calculate on the fly. But that would be kind of sweet, being like based off of like not having double dash, not having triple jump, everything's gonna be 5 for you, buddy, or something, But
I think there was only 1 5, and that one was pretty tough. And that was the one in the settlement up top, in the Rust settlement.
Is there only 1 5? Hold on, now I need to look.
There might have been more. I don't have the game up, obviously. But that one there was something that took me quite a bit on. Obviously, I mean I beat the game.
It looks like there are 3 5-stars.
There's 3 5
from
okay.
the wiki.
Then yeah. Are some of them DLC 5s though?
See, I don't know. Like I don't think so. Like I feel like I've been to the abandoned path, the Firefall River, and Rust Village.
Yeah,
Rust
yeah.
Village, because
Rust
those are the locations they're at.
I remember was a tougher one. I think the abandoned path wasn't as hard. To your point, Charles. Especially with the jumps and stuff that I had. So that was I didn't get triple jump till after I beat the game. That was one of the 2 things I missed. The other one was a sword that I missed in the Ice Temple.
Wait, you say a sword in the Ice Temple?
Oh, yeah. You know how you could use different swords that you picked up?
Yeah.
Yeah. That. I liked that you could wear different tunics. I liked that you could use different swords that had different powers. I think that was an underutilized mechanic, though. The tunics were just cosmetic. Except for in one quest where the guy in the fountain was like, I wish I could see what the ladies looked like in the Steamworks, and then you wear that and you get, you get your heals from it. Like that, that you need more of that. Like you have all these different costumes, use those. Like that would have been great.
Right.
Instead, a lot of your quests ended in costumes or started and ended with costumes, like the bunny hood.
Yep.
But yeah, I like the idea. I just thought it was a little underutilized, and I think that's kind of the impression I have of the game. Is I liked the game, but I feel like a lot of the elements were underutilized. But I like what they did. You know what I mean?
And, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what we opened up with that same idea. It's a good problem to have. If a lot of us, like all 3 of us, are saying the same thing, it was like, man, it was really good. We just want more, and that's something that I'm sure that they would take as a great feedback. They're like, oh, cool, right? Like maybe in the second game, if they came back around and did it a second time, like we'll just put more in there. Because like walking through the world it felt very empty and stuff like that sometimes, where it was just like I would like there to be more enemies, more dodging. Sometimes you're just like dash dash dash. I was just like getting through the world, and I was like, okay, let me just get by there and just zoom past these enemies because I don't need to fight them for the 20th time now or something, whatever.
Yep.
But I think that like if you were able to bring in some of those things like new items or things like that, the swords actually matter, or even different kinds of weapons, not just swords, like I don't know, axes or whatever, whips or
Sure.
and then you're actually having armor that actually mattered, like even something simple like the armor never really mattered in OOT, but like you had to
It
wear the
gave
fire
you
one
a
in
different ability.
the
Yeah.
in the volcano, so that's like okay, that's another form of a gate that you could have made
Right.
at least, kind of thing. So it's like, oh, rather than just a movement gate, but here now you need to actually go find this armor or something. It's like that would have been cool. So yeah, I just wanted more of it, just because it did feel kind of vacant sometimes. Not so much as like the pray to the gods vacant, but just want more.
Yeah. So things that I think were really done well. I think paying like beating voids to unlock more spirits that you can have, like more abilities to utilize, or what were they? You know what I
Wait,
mean?
the spirit.
The
What the
spirits,
charms? I don't
the
know what they're
charms.
called,
That's
but
yeah.
yes.
You those. I think that was a really good system. Um, and I like that the guy was in more than one place so that you could pay for stuff
Mhm.
um in two different areas.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed.
and the charms themselves had interesting abilities that actually were things that I wanted to utilize. And I moved some of them around based on what I wanted to do. Um,
Yep.
so I thought that was all well done. I like that you could upgrade your magic, but I have a confession to make. Um, I didn't have the shield for the entirety of the game.
Really,
Well, that I'm like, what? I forgot that's the thing. Yeah, the blue aura shield thingy.
I didn't
Everything
use it.
everything kept mentioning the shield, and I'm like, what is this shield? Uh,
What is the
When I
shield?
went back to explore the beginning of the game to like make sure I had everything. No, when I went back to collect all the orbs for the ice boss's quest,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I found a chest in the middle of the room that I hadn't opened because I had opened the key chest on the back of the room and then somehow missed the other chest with the camera angle. And so I didn't have the shield for most of the game. And I was like, what is the shield? Where is the shield? It's gonna come at some point. But why am I upgrading magic for no reason? I didn't
You don't
have the
even
Yeah.
need
shield for
it.
anything.
Yeah, you don't even need it though, because like
Yeah.
to Keel's point in chat, like I I didn't use magic, and there is even that one point. Did you guys both get that magic spell? Like that's the Y button,
It
right, or
wasn't
whatever?
powerful enough, but I did
No,
use it for things I didn't feel like approaching.
I tried it like once or twice, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
and
you
then that
just
was
kind of
it. I don't think
spam it.
I ever
Yeah.
used it again. There was literally no point to the magic.
That's what I'm saying,
Again,
because the combat was too simple, both on like what you can do and what the enemies can do. So there's no point in using like anything else. You're just not
yeah,
incentivized for it.
no,
It
yeah,
would if they had made those things matter for combat, like the enemies charging an attack, you use the magic to like stun them and then you can go charge them, right? Like that would have
yes,
been
Yeah.
great. Or like some attacks that very early on force you to use the block to like kind of like Sekiro style, right? There's some things where you needed to parry and you got an alert to do
Yeah.
so, and if you timed it right, and be yeah, like things like that would have
No-
been improved those mechanics instead of
now
just
granted,
having nice to haves. Yeah,
none of us used it. Maybe like if we had, maybe the fights would have been even more simple or something like that. Like it would just been
That's
broken
worse.
simple. I know, but like I felt like I was able to just go in there and be like, maybe I died like once or twice to a boss or something like that. But I was never struggling enough for like, okay, I need to adapt my strategy and find a new way. It was just like, no, this seems to be working. They're going down. I just need to execute a little bit cleaner, and yep, we're done, kind of thing. It
Yup.
was just like I never was like looking for something to solve it. So no, I never turned to the magic or anything either.
Yeah.
yeah. Last boss, you had to start thinking creatively as to how to block the area of
That
effect
bubble thing,
spell.
yeah.
So I I was like, oh, the shield that I just got, maybe this will no.
You just nope.
I did use it there because it got me through that bubble, and then she would be kind of like tired or something like that, and then I was able to go in there and kind of give some hits.
Oh, so the shield did work for you. Interesting. Yeah, I just kept
Didn't know.
forgetting
How
about
did you
it.
get past the bubble then, or were you just
So you
tanking?
jump off the map, run along the column that's on the back, or
What?
and then you jump back in. That's what you're supposed to do.
I didn't know that. No, I was shielded through it.
Yeah,
Wow,
you should watch my VOD for it. It's the last VOD of the
that's
game.
crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Also, you kept saying that the percentage it doesn't have to do with the story, or something that that.
I thought it was percentage. Was it completion? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was a percentage completion.
like
Yeah,
Hollow
yeah.
Knight.
Yep.
But the main story, yeah, it wasn't. It was the main story plus all the chests and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I was like I feel like I'm near end game and it was showing me like at 70% or something. Like that. I was like, I think that's got to be completion 100%. So favorite parts about the game then I guess.
Definitely the voids and the parkour in general. I mean, that's probably the only thing about the game I would put in like the great category. Everything else is either good or just okay.
I would
Yeah,
probably say the voids myself.
yeah, movement in general, and the void's kind of focused on that part. So yeah, agreed.
So-
Yeah, anything that involved the movement, the parkour. Yes, agreed.
No, I have to ask you because it's on theme with my whole theme this year. Was it a banger?
No,
No?
no, it was a great game, but it's not a banger for me. There were too many things that were just okay or could have been much improved. me.
Agreed. What was your overall score then?
But I think I gave it a 7.5, and I'd probably stick with that. Let me see. Yeah, I gave it a 7.5. If it had better combat, it had 8 potential, but a 7.5 for me is a really good game.
Yeah, I gave it 7.5 too, actually.
Let's
That's- I
go.
can't remember what I gave it. I'd have to look
It
at
was
the
like 2
VOD.
seconds ago.
No, wait, fuck you. I can't remember what I maybe I said 8 or lower or something like that. But I guess like in general, it was like I thought it was like on par with you guys. Great game, not a banger, but like I would definitely want to see more from that dev. It was great.
I did a few people were asking me about how I enjoyed the game. Like I'd recommend it. You could try it out. It's a short enough game that
Yeah.
like if it was a long 7.5, right? Like a really long like a longer game, like a 20-hour game or more, and it was 7.5, I probably would be less inclined to say, "Oh, you should pick that up and play it." But short 7.5 game, that's a great reco, right? Like,
Not a huge
Yeah.
time commitment, not a big like upskill ramp up needed. You just get in there, bang, and you're gonna have fun. I think that's one of the biggest things for any review of a video game was like, was it fun? Yeah, it was fun.
I
Yep.
am curious, was this game the first of the studio? It felt like a first game.
Yeah, as he was saying earlier, it's their first game. It's their only game, actually.
Mhm.
So they haven't made anything since either.
When did it come out? Was that 19?
2022? Let
22?
me go low. Oh, maybe I think that's when Z played it, but when did it actually release? Was 2021, February 2021.
Got it.
Wait, hold on. Did I banger status it, Z? I don't think I banger statused it.
I don't know if I put it in the spreadsheet because I've been trying to only put games that we listed or like you specifically plan on being bangers like in the spreadsheet. But let me see here. I did not.
Didn't I thought I said like I thought I was like I want to give it a banger, but I just don't think it like could be a banger kind of thing. It's like it was like on the precipice of like if it had some other things in there, it could. I don't know if I can't remember if I said it was or wasn't now.
Well, regardless, right now is all that matters. You can change your mind. I've changed my mind on games before.
Yeah. To go ahead and give me that Olympic gold medal back. Yoink.
Yoink.
Oh, sorry.
That's funny.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
I
give that-
definitely recommend
gonna
it
give
to
that
anyone
to
who
someone
likes
else.
games with an emphasis on fun movement. If
Yeah.
if someone said they want a game with good combat, I would not recommend it to them though.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. See,
But
Z's got me
honestly,
thinking now.
to nail movement so well for the first game, I'm pretty impressed.
I'm very impressed for
yeah.
sure.
And I like that they encouraged you to use the abilities in unique ways, like in all the like loading screens. They're like, try different ways to like they're basically saying, try to break the game. We want you to. You know what I mean? Like the movement is designed for you to be able to get around a lot of problems. Like to Trell climbing up the Citadel Garden or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
A janky way, but he did it, and I was like, this is as intended. This is what's supposed to happen. So
They did leave it very open. I think that I would hope that they probably tested it thoroughly, and they probably did, but they were probably like, yeah, there's things that you don't force to get this certain mechanic, whatever. They're like, just get in there, have fun.
it's not a Metroidvania to kill, so no, I wouldn't. It really isn't. It's too linear to be Metroidvania.
Yep,
There's
agreed.
no
And there's no fucking
That's
map.
Yeah.
Really good question though, because I think what do they have on the Steam?
Oh, I saw
I'm
it
sure-
up. 1 second. Where's my fucking
sure
Steam?
it's-
They probably
I'm sure
have
it's
Souls
labeled.
like. Okay, no, they have Metroidvania, Exploration, Souls like, which I was joking about, and Precision
Dang.
Platformer.
You
I would
definitely can
say
tell
that
they
it-
had some inspiration from Souls-like games, but
Agreed.
they had a boss bar. They had like that scenic vista that looked very Souls-like.
Yeah.
They had people wanting shit, but like, I
See, I would
wouldn't say it's
disagree with you
Souls-like
guys.
or
I would
Metroidvania.
I would say it's a Metroidvania. I would disagree with you guys.
Why? What
It-
qualifies it as a Metroidvania at all?
Yeah, like a lot of the elements of going back and backtracking. I don't think it did it,
It didn't
well,
backtrack.
but
They-
I
they were-
think that the intent is there to be a Metroidvania.
Then Skyward Sword's a Metroidvania.
You know, I'll say this. Maybe you could define it as a Metroidvania, but I don't think it's a good Metroidvania. So my point stands to Tequil's question is, would you recommend it to someone looking for a Metroidvania? No, because I don't think it's a good Metroidvania. I think it's a good linear parkour action game.
Yes.
linear parkour action.
I don't know if that's like a genre. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah, I was like, that's
That's
really
like, I don't know
open-
what you would call it. It just, if you're looking for a game with fun movement that is not huge on the exploration, but some exist, then yes, I just don't think it's a good Metroidvania.
feel like in the taxonomy of video game categorization or whatever, if this was going to fall into a typical category, I'd be like, what were you going to classify that as? I'd be like Metroidvania.
I might too, but it's not a good one.
I don't understand that, because Metroidvania, it did not backtrack. Like there were places to go back to that had more to it.
That's
but in
true. You
one
didn't have
specific
to
example,
get
or
gated.
maybe two. It was
Yeah, I
mainly-
agree. It's
it
just
was
a- it's
gated.
just a-
It
it's
was
just
you
a
got
platform-
a
it's a
key
3D
that unlocked
platformer.
the door. It wasn't an ability that got it. It was you beat a temple, you got a key to go to the next temple. You got a key to go to the next temple. Then you got instructions to get the last 3 bosses, which I don't think counts for Metroidvania. And
No,
then
I agree with you
open.
there.
So I
So
would say
It's just a 3D platformer.
3D platformer. Yeah.
3D platformer. Okay, I could live with that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I
just
think
saw
it's an
the
action
trailer.
platformer. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I just saw the trailer on their thing, and apparently you're those big old fire worm things. You're supposed to deflect that with a shield to kill those guys. Did not know that.
Oh, yeah, I never
Did not
killed
know
any
that.
of those.
All right, I'm gonna close this Steam page now because now I'm big mad. All right, sorry, I digress.
Oh, I didn't have the shield, so I wouldn't have been able to defeat them anyway.
I was like, I don't know how to fight you guys, so I just whatever. Oh my god.
That's funny.
I could live with it being a 3D platformer then. But then, okay, like would you recommend it to someone who is like coming off of Banjo or something like that?
Sure.
No, because I mean, maybe depending on what they like about Banjo. I understand that they are both 3D platformers, but Banjo is obviously more of a collectathon than any sort of like action focused platformer. So if they just want to platform around, maybe, but I don't think they're that similar other than that they're 3D platformers. Banjo is more, fun platforming collection based, and Blue Fire is much more action and fast paced. Banjo's not a very fast paced game.
Yep.
Trell,
Okay.
it's not like you're gonna go up and say, "Bro, you like Banjo? Ah, let's play Blue Fire then." No, it's.
I mean, that sounds like something I would definitely say, actually.
It's just like, oh, you're looking for a new game to play. This is a game that I tried out recently. It's a 3D platformer. It's pretty good.
I can live with that. The when Kirby was saying earlier, like, what is the long spiel that it was a linear progression, fast movement.
Well, linear parkour action game or
Yeah, I was like
platformer.
that.
I don't know what I
That's a
said.
mouthful of a category there.
No, I
was
don't
like,
think that's a real genre. I'm just like, if you like those three things,
yeah,
yes.
but 3D platformer, I could probably I could lean in that being the. If you were going to give it one category, that being it, rather than Metroidvania, I could go with that.
Okay,
We
yeah,
kept
yeah, yeah.
comparing it, so I would say it's a Zelda like, not a Metroid like or a Souls like. It's a Zelda like.
Zelda-like.
Yeah. There's temples,
Oh,
there's
man.
bosses,
No items though. No items.
but the Z targeting, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
with the Z targeting,
but it's got that Z targeting, even though I never used it, like, except once. But yeah. So you would think it's closer to a Zelda 3D Zelda than closer to a Hollow Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I could probably agree there.
Making 3D games is hard, so I'm impressed.
Absolutely. I think like would Team Cherry do as good in a 3D game?
I don't know. They don't
I
make
assume they would
3D
do
games.
better. They at least they have experience.
It would take them
With
forever.
2D. Oh yeah, we wouldn't get it until like 2040 for sure. But like
True.
but we know they have experience with 2D. I've never seen them in 3D. I mean, they might not be as good. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
I don't.
Maybe that's what
I
the
don't,
6
I
are
don't.
good at. But
I don't think it's a necessary question because like developers develop in whatever way they are best or want to.
yeah,
So like, what would Team Cherry do better or worse is kind of like it's like saying would the cat prefer to wash windows or cars, right? Like it's
Right, like, well, like, 'cause it's the whatever medium that you're good at or comfortable with or have interest in. Like, if, for instance, you just finished up a commission of some sort, you were
Mhm.
saying, right? You're good at whatever medium that was. What was it? Painting, drawing, or
watercolor. Yeah.
watercolor? So, oh, if Wombat did pottery, he'd be good too because he knows art or something. No, not true. Sometimes it's a completely different world,
Right.
different medium, etc. So they might not do good at the 3D thing either. But
Yeah. It's also sometimes about preference, right? Like I actually have done pottery, but I don't have.
well, that was a bad example.
Well, no, but to continue on the analogy, I don't have the ability to fire clay in a kiln in this house.
Oh,
My wrists are shot to hell, so I can't knead the clay as easily. So
oh,
like, there's a lot of things in the process that I can't do, like either physically or because of my situation. Right, I don't have a studio.
yeah.
So, I think Team Cherry, with the small team that they have, for example, uh, are utilizing what resources they have to make the best thing that they can. That's what I'm doing with painting watercolor, right? Like, I have the watercolor, I have the paper, so yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So similar idea.
it
Yeah.
did Blue Fire win any awards?
I doubt it. I doubt it was even nominated.
Like, I could see it as like indie game of the year.
What the hell came? Hold on. No,
No,
2021 definitely
Claire
had banger
Obscura
indie
is
game.
obviously the indie game of the year. So
I'm gonna beat you. I swear to fucking God. Don't get me started on this right now. Okay.
it
It
won
was
in 2022 too. In 21, I mean. Uh,
No, shit like Ender Lilies came out in 2021.
Oh
I
man,
think
that's hard.
Unsighted came out, and
still
that
haven't
was
played that
already
game.
better. Inscription came out, and that was already better.
Oh damn! Inscription was
Oh
that
wow,
year?
that was in the same year as that. That's hard.
Yeah, I mean, not saying again. I don't think it's a bad game or anything, but like those games are all just, in my opinion, way more polished.
So it didn't even get nominees? Is what you're saying?
No, no way. I'll look. I highly doubt it. Let's see what was up there for indie game in 2021. Where's the best indie game?
It won
It
Best
won
Best
Metroidvania,
Metroidvania.
released on February 4th, 2020.
Sable, Forgotten City, Valheim. I don't even know what the Artful Escape is, and the winner was Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which was a very fun game.
Oh yeah, that's on my wish list.
It's very good.
Oh, so it did get nominated?
No,
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Z says that it won Best Metroidvania released on February 4th, 2021. It's a very
No, that is
specific
true.
award.
That is true. What if there was another Metroidvania that released that day that was better?
That would be.
Kebab, I have not even. I've looked at some of the list and I've asked in a couple different places. I'll make a decision once the sale goes live. Yeah, some of those suggestions were in my wish list. So good looking out. I appreciate you folks. Definitely gonna take a look and invest in a couple things.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't have too much else to say on
No, I don't either.
Blue Fire, but
I'll say this. I thought I had more fun with this game than Prey to the Gods by a large margin.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree
Not
there.
that I didn't like Prey to the Gods, like I liked some of the
I
elements.
don't think
in
that was a
but
bad game either.
I
Prey to the Gods was
Prey to the Gods
okay.
was a 7, right? And this was a 7.5, so we're going up.
I think I gave it a 6.5 to be honest. Let me go look.
See,
The game sucked.
I think I would, but like I've been thinking in my mind here. I think I personally, I said, what did I say about God of War? I said that was a banger, but I think I gave it like an 8 or something. And then we're saying like, I'm trying to think of what I give Blue Fire, and I think I almost give it like, did I give it an 8 as well? I'm like, is Blue Fire same as God of War? That's crazy.
If you think so, I'll respect your opinion, but I will strongly disagree.
I mean, I know you would, because I know that you guys liked God of War a lot more probably than what I liked God of War. I thought God of War was still a good game, but there was things about that. There was a lot of repetitiveness. There was not a lot of variety in the enemies. So if you look at, if I started listing things that I had problems with, I could probably find similar things that I had problems with Blue Fire. And I'm kind of like, but this just feels weird to give those the same grade. I'm like, so I got to think about that. I don't know.
Interesting. It is funny to look at like your ratings isolated, and then you look at other games that you've rated the same way and be like, oh
yeah,
do I need to rethink that rating? Do I need to rethink both ratings?
Well, right, okay, it's part of my job as like a developer and working in like agile environments. That's one of the things they always train you to do is like you take in Xenos I'm talking about, because he's a former Scrum Master recovering, but like if you have like an effort of work, they're like, and you're like trying to figure out like what would it take to do this work, they're like, oh, compare it to other things that you've done that's been similar or something like that. So it's like in that same kind of like mind thought, it's like, okay, I've played these two games and now I see that they had the same things, now like compare them, like was that the same level of fun or the same, it's just weird to think about sometimes. You're like, are they both really an 8, or am I being too harsh here on something, or I don't know. Sorry, Z.
He brought Scrum back into his life.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Weekend ruined.
The only context I have for Scrum is like a Scrum match with soccer. So
Never called Scrim. Is it called Scrum?
Right. Oh my God, you're right. Oh,
a scrimmage. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Let's go sports, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, Kirby knows. Kirby's playing FC 16 or FC 26 right now. Is what he's playing.
I feel like Scrum. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It is now
Are you thinking rugby with a scrum and rugby?
Maybe I am. Yeah, I did play rugby too, so that's probably what I'm thinking of. And I just associated it with the wrong sport because I played a lot more soccer. Anyway, so we are going to be back in 2 weeks for our annual podcast.
I'm very excited for that. I love that shit.
I look forward to it every year.
I love that time so much.
Are we going to pick a new game similar to this at that point in time, or are we doing that now?
We're gonna we're gonna discuss it and then come out with it at the during that podcast.
Okay, that sounds good.
We've got to figure out what we all have in common or what we're all gonna buy together and play.
Yep.
Which I think it's probably going to be easier to do the second rather than the first.
But we'll say I'm still open to contraption games for that as well. I'll just say it, but we don't have to be.
That's fair. Yeah, especially for like this, where we're just getting it ourselves and all playing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
I'm totally fine with that.
All right, cool. But yeah, we can discuss that more
Um,
later.
yeah, we can definitely do that. In terms of we'll do our summary of all the games we played this year. I've got some busy work to do. I have beaten all my games from the Rogue Scholars challenges, so that's great.
Congrats.
But I want to break even with my backlog too, so I need to beat a couple more games before then and now. Z.
I played on hard.
I played on normal and hard.
I
Beat
played
it
on
twice,
normal.
going for the extra credit.
I wanted to make sure that like we covered all aspects. of
Oh,
the thing,
that's
so
yeah. Okay, yeah.
I took on that responsibility. I shouldered it.
Now we can cut. That's God. Because you knew Wombat was gonna play it twice.
I just like that you the full story for everyone in chat is like when Kirby I think started pointing that out, like you're like, oh, what mode you played it on? And I was like normal. You're like, I did on hard. I was like, and all of a sudden when we were like waiting for Wombat to start, and I missed that opening video when you were doing it, so I went back to go check the VOD. I even made a clip of it in case you went back and you changed it later and replayed the opening level or something like that. I was like, I saw you in the selection screen. It was like difficulty, and you were like normal. I was like, perfect. Clip that. There we go. We're both playing on normal, baby.
So in the VOD, what before he clips it, what happens is I stop and I'm like, let me get in the DMs real quick, and I DM'd Trump like, what difficulty are you playing on? He said normal, like great, and then I clicked normal, and that's what I did. Like,
you should ask Kirby.
I should have
what
asked
did
Kirby.
you play it on?
But since Trell had just fired it up recently, I was like, oh, Trell knows what we're playing it on. Let me just ask him. I shouldn't have fucking trusted him. You're right, Kirby.
Of course, he's always. I gotta pick the one the developers recommend.
That's what the developer intended. I'm playing the developer intended way, man. I just want to give them their chance to show them their experience.
Oh my God, but developers have to make it more accessible so people buy their games.
I should have just thought for myself and gone the hard. But since Trell said, oh, we're playing on normal, I played it on normal.
I was so happy when I was like, did he do that? Let me go look at his VOD here.
Did he actually do that?
All right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 2 weeks from now.
Me too.
We
Same.
will see y'all there. I think it'll probably be a similar timing, either 7 or 7:30 Eastern. Probably 7, just so that we have enough time. We're not rushing toward the end.
True. That podcast will have more to say, I'm sure. So
yeah, we actually had more to say than I thought we did for Blue Fire. So
yeah, agreed. We had some good conversation about when items should be unlocked, boss mechanics, stuff, what genre it is. That was good.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for our next podcast.
Yep. Sweet.
Bye.
See you guys.
See y'all next time.